Welcome to Australia for our Week 13 special event from the Clio community. We are at Oran Park and I am looking forward to this. What do we have in store for you? Over 30 cars on a not the biggest track. Oran Park, we will see lap times around the 1 minute 15 mark, roughly. So it will be tight. And we have two races in this broadcast for you. First, a classic 15-minute Clio sprint, as we all know and love. But then, right afterwards, a 20-minute race with a Kevin Anfield. Not ideal. Good thing it's only practice. But yeah, 20 minutes for the feature race with a partially reverse grid. The top 15 of race 1 will be flipped, so we are looking forward to this. And as I mentioned, over 30 cars. We used a bit of a different setup for this time, but over 30 cars is lovely. And to not waste any time, let's take a look at the bigger starting grid to see how qualifying went, and then I'll meet you back for the start of race 1. So many cars and such a wrong positional tower to the left. Ignore that. I hope it gets fixed on its own. Either way, they are Roman Perschke in pole position. That much we can tell you. And week 13 we are on our way. Now it is fixed. Somewhat. No. Yes. No. Tower doesn't want to work at the moment. Hopefully gets fixed. If not, I have to redo the whole broadcast. Let's hope not. Either way, into turn 1, over 30 cars. And oh, that's not ideal. Some cars go wide. Now the tower is correct. Oh, Cedric Goyot gets spun around. Has to drive an extra round here. We have Julian Rehberger. Oh, he's late, and he hits his teammate, who hits Isaac Mitchell as a result. Welcome to week 13, ladies and gentlemen. One thing we have to talk about, though, is that the chaos continues. No, you see car parts falling off the cars, but don't worry. As always in our week 13 events, since they are not super tryhard and more of a fun thing, we have no damage on the cars. So even though this is unfortunate for a name that's way too long, Felipe Cabargas, I will just call him Felipe for now. So no damage in these events. And Julian Rehberger, spoiler alert, we will see that a lot. He had a lot of problems with that final corner. It's renamed into Julian's corner now. Either way, John Cook in P9, Frank Schichterich in 8, John Duncan in front of and Matthew Hansel. Michael Lauermann already was in a few incidents. But as mentioned, this is to be expected. Remember, we have split 1 superstars and split 4 rookies. All in one field. So chaos is to be expected. And one thing I also have to mention is we saw 34 cars in the starting grid animation. Sadly, not the case. There was, for example, a technical issue with Jack Davies, who tried to fix it. Thanks, iRacing update. Andy Oakley, we saw him there for a bit. We also can expect that the camera will jump around a lot. 1, 2 cars into the wall, a third car touching it. Yeah, the final corner is tricky. Dylan da Costa. Oh, that was a big one. Luckily, we have no damage. Sebastian Müller. And Felipe. He is at the... Oh! Yeah, we were gonna see a lot of those, I believe. Felipe is struggling a little bit. And I think he wanted to go to the pits there. Marcin Rajewski also with a mistake. Yeah, we will miss a lot. It will be hectic, it will be chaotic, but it is week 13, so we have to expect it. Frank Schichterich gets past John Duncan for P7. Almost 4K I rating, so quick driver. A driver we have not seen in the Clio SOF itself. But he is quick, that's for sure. Isaac Mitchell, he was spun around on lap 1 in turn 3, so he has to wait. Oh no! No, no, oh no. Thank goodness this is a fun event and not a try-hard event. Julian! Into Julian's corner, or rather Julian's wall. John Cook, who lost so many positions. He's behind Paul Remnant from He Hit Me Motorsport. Not he hit me, he hit wall! Either way, Andy Oakley, P21, not the position he wants to be. Callum Colquhoun in the gravel. Yeah, turn 2 is a tricky one. Because the breaking point is so soon after turn 1. So if you're still moving too much from getting that kink done, you off-balance the car in a big way. Reminder, we have a reverse grid for the top 15. So at the moment, Ewan Topley would be the pole sitter for race 2, which is a 20-minute race. Cedric Goyot, he also was involved into something early on. He had that spin in turn 2, if you remember. Julian sliding and touching. Poor guy. Final corner, not his best friend. Sacha Anglesi, 8,697 I rating. Holy moly. That's a high I rating. Welcome to the Clio. Isaac Mitchell, contact with Sebastian Müller. That's one way to gain a position. Sasha Anglesi behind David Wardy Ward and his pink rims. You also probably noticed that the tower to the left, when we are with a car in the top 20, it only shows the top 20 for space reasons. But if we are watching a car below the top 20, we see their surroundings as well, so it gets a little bit bigger. Rui Teixeira fights against Bruno Gaiotto for P3 behind Roman Perschke, who had a slowdown there. Yeah, slowdown's also a thing in week 13. Bruno and Rui. Contact and Bruno. Oh, that is a positional loss of 1, 2, 3, 4 at least. Will he get back in front of Schichterich? Yes, he will. So he is now in P6. Still Da Costa and Roman Perschke fighting for the lead as we focus on David Ward and Sasha Anglesi. In front of them, Mark Kelly, P9. So far, so good for Mark Kelly. And we always have to watch for P15. That is the pole position for race 2. So Ewan Topley, currently still our pole sitter. Kevin Anfield and his new red and white livery. Maybe he will have more luck with it than the last color scheme. He had an interesting S2F season. Julian, we saw him for a bit. Back to Llama on Llama action. David Ward attacks Mark Kelly. Llama on Llama action? No, Llama on Llama contact. Andy Oakley gained a few positions. And big slide! This is a he hit me. This was Paul Remden and Cedric Guyot. Laumann into him. Luckily, as I mentioned, no damage. But yeah, it is the chaos we all expected. The chaos we all hoped for. Julian and Andy Oakley. Julian loses control of the car. This was what I mean. If you start to brake while the car is still in this turning mode, let's call it, you unbalance the car, and sadly for Andy Oakley, he gets collected. This is what I talked about not too long ago. So the best thing for turn 1 is lift. Lift a little bit, bring the car into a better angle to brake, so that you have less stress. Big stress for David Ward. Woohoo! Flies above there. And I heard contact. Oh, we see contact. Cedric Gibbert, Neil Todd. Aye. And now the broadcast. I have to watch out for all those cars. Oh my goodness. That was stressful, I can tell you. Roman Perschke losing a few positions. Ah no, he had to slow down. Never mind, he had to slow down. Now he's in the fight with Kevin Anfield. We saw that slowdown even. Either way, Callum Calhoun and Rob Blay, 18 and 19. Behind them, Julian Rehberger in P20. Callum Calhoun, Rob Blay. Calhoun breaks a bit later. Stays behind though. But yeah, as you can see on the average SOF with 2,600, we have people with over 8,000. We have people around the 1,000 mark. So there's a wide margin in pace, experience, everything. And that is the interesting thing about these big unofficial Fun Week 13 events. You see drivers on the track, sharing the track, fighting against each other, which usually do not interact a lot. Which is of course difficult for someone like, let's say Dylan Da Costa is behind a, let's call it how it is, a slower driver. Dylan might brake later because he has more experience and all that, but he has to adjust for the other cars having different braking points because they are more comfortable that way. So this, oh Majewski, this was late. This was late. Cedric probably not a happy Frenchman after that, but Marcin stays behind. John Cook and Andy Oakley, they know each other very well, but now this is a case of this. In front of them is James Moore, a driver we see split 4, sometimes split 3, and John Cook and Andy Oakley a split 1 driver. So they have to adjust their battle with the car in front of them that is slower. It's a fact. And we have a few big groups here on the track. I mean, from 22 to 27, from 10 to 15. James Moore, speaking of it. Drops down. David Ward and Neil Todd. This is for the pole position in the final, in the second race. We have a bit over 3 minutes left. And currently Neil Todd would be the pole sitter for race 2. Good battle for P2 there. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 really close together. Bruno worked his way back into this group after the incident earlier. Tries to attack Matthew Hansel. They know each other. Not from the Clio SOF races so much, but from the Limit of Adhesion Racing League. They have plenty of battles there. And now they fight here once again. Roman Perschke and Kevin Anfield, they know each other really well as well. Amazing. What a wizard of words your broadcaster is. But it doesn't matter, we have racing action. Roman Perschke maybe now against Kevin Anfield. No, he covers the inside. Anfield, that is. In front of them, Rui Teixeira, who is in P2. Maybe slowing down the train ever so slightly. Not saying that he is slow, he is a fast driver, but maybe, just maybe, it's that 1/10 or 2/10 that are there in which cause this train to happen from 2 to 6. John Cook, P23. We have time. What does the time say? 1 minute 15. I think this might be the start of the final lap. Not entirely sure. We will see. We will see. But this battle, man. Yeah, this has to be the final lap of the race. Judging by race times, John Cook gets past Julian Rehberger, who touches his favorite piece of wall. And you're far right. Oh, did they touch the wall there, or did they manage it just in time? I'm not entirely sure. Perschke dropped the position. Schichterich and Duncan fighting for P7. Julian sliding. We have seen that. Similar to what happened to Andy Oakley. I think we know which racetrack is not on the top list for Julian. He has a rough time here. Michael Lauermann, speaking about a rough time, almost being lapped there. But Dylan da Costa wins. And Rui Teixeira, Kevin Anfield, Matthew Hansel and Roman Perschke the top 5. And now we wait for everyone to finish. Good result for you in Topley, P11. Mark Kelly, P12 after the team-on-team incident. Would you know who is in pole position for race 2? Quote-unquote, thanks to an incident limit by Cedric Gibbret. Otherwise, Gibbret would have been in the pole for race 2. But no! I'm allowed to start on pole position. Let's go. This will be chaos. Either way, we are waiting for everyone to finish as the post-race party begins. This is normal in these week 13 events. We all know and love it. Boof! Dylan da Costa wins. Rui Teixeira and Kevin Anfield the podium. Congratulations, and now we focus on race 2, so I will do a little cut there to save a bit of time, and then I'll meet you back for the start of race 2. Good, and here we are for the feature race. Reverse grid for the top 15 as mentioned. So front row lockout for missed apex, then 2 llamas. I just noticed this. Lovely. A good start by Teixeira or really bad one by Matthew Hensel. You decide. I think it's probably the latter one. Let's see how the feature race will be. We have the fast drivers now in the middle of the pack. This will cause chaos! John Cook, this is a event to forget for Philip Morris, James Moore. Ay. But yes, now the fast drivers are in the middle of the pack. This is always spicy. And they have to work their way up the field. They have 20 minutes of time for that. Bruno Gallardo Rui Teixeira! Contact. So this is the hectic beginning of the race. There's another car in the grass. This is John Duncan, I believe. And Cedric Goyot gets a spin and collects Julian as... Oh my goodness! Oh, we have not seen everything, but more than enough, I believe. Oh, that was a big one. Oh, one thing I have not mentioned, since it would be impossible to do it justice, usually we end our broadcasts with a bit of a highlight reel, but for this week 13 event I will not do it because, let's face it, I would miss out on 60% of the things, or the highlight reel would be 30 minutes long. So I apologize, but no. No. I don't get paid to do this, but you can support me. Link in the description. Dylan Da Costa, P13, behind Isaac Mitchell. Neil Todd defending P2, helping his missed apex teammate there a little bit, but now David Ward gets past at the end of lap 2, and Sasha Anglesi, the 8.7k Frenchman, is in P3. Probably our race favorite. We see Julian, we see the final corner, we know the result. So yeah, Anglesi probably the favorites. But David Ward is a tough nut to crack to pass. Callum Colquhoun, James Moore. This is for P28. Anfield, Schichterich, Perschke. In front of them, Ewan Topley in P6. Mark Kelly, P5. He lost, I think, 1 or 2 positions from the start. It was a llama row 2, so I don't remember if... Oh, Isaac Mitchell, speaking of llamas. Suboptimal. Now he has to find his way back on the racetrack. He finds it. He does not collide with anyone, but he drops down to P19. Perschke behind Anfield. Anglesi puts on pressure on David Ward. This is Paul Remnant, and I think we all know what's going to happen. Bonk! Yeah, you have to brake early for that. You have to brake early and wait. Andy Oakley in the gravel of turn 2. also near the wall. Maybe, or let's say hopefully it was just his own mistake and not a big shunt we have missed. Remember, we will miss stuff because so much is happening. Oh, Oakley, everything under control. Anglesi bites against David Ward. Neil Todd still in P4. Markelli, you and Topley, they keep their positions somewhat, but here comes the cavalry. And it is a pretty quick cavalry. 5 minutes over 15 still on the clock. Anglesi. Of course, this battling costs time. And it helps the race leader, who just made a mistake in turn 2, I can tell you. I remember that. Oh, you a Doppli Schichterich! Unfortunate. Cedric Goyot standing there. Okay. Let's ignore that, I guess. But either way, Anglesi still behind David Ward. Dylan Acosta in P10. Topley and Perschke. Topley flashing his lights on the former champion! Contact and even more contact! And contact! And contact! And contact! Thank goodness for no damage on. Anglesi, he is looking, he is trying. Gaiotto, P14, 3 wide in the middle. Teixeira and Schichterich. With Cedric Gibbert, who had that black flag in race 1. Otherwise, he would have been on pole position. Honestly, oops. That would have made him my personal favorite to win. Ay, 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 ay. It would be so interesting to see. Sometimes I'm lost. Even I'm lost for words. Schichterich and Teixeira, new friends found. Man, this is a prime example why I say a highlight package would not do it justice. I would miss everything and even more. I'm enjoying this, but if you are involved in this, you're probably not that happy. Week 13 in iRacing is crazy. Just crazy. And Julian to the pits. Probably too many incidents by now. Paul Remnant, Michael Lauermann. This is for P26. And the he hit me fight continues. Guys, you are teammates. Now I understand why they called themselves he hit me. He hit him and he gets 2 positions. That's one way. Sneaky, Paul Remnant. Sneaky. Dylan Acosta. Up in P6. And there is still 11 minutes on the clock and the leaders are not far away. Can he win race 2 as well? Who knows? Bruno Gaiotto, P12. This is a lapped car. This is Cedric Goyot. Andy Oakley. Schichterich dropping a few positions. Into the pits and into the wall! I mean, he hit me. They definitely have too many incidents. We have seen them a lot. And Felipe is struggling with the pit entry there. Whoops. Julian! We see him in the final corner. Wouldn't you know who won the pony? I think he's glad when the thing is over. And to the pits again? Huh. Mark Kelly and Dylan Da Costa. Mark Kelly, he's fighting. He's not giving it for free, and that is good. This is good. Still, he is in P6 after starting from row 2. Neil Todd still in the top 4 after starting from P2. And your pole sitter still in the lead, but Anglesi is coming quickly. So does the cavalry. The cavalry that is called Dylan Da Costa and Kevin Anfield. But Mark Kelly between them, and Mark Kelly is not giving away the positions for free. And honestly, why should he? Why should he? Make it difficult. Make it difficult for the fast drivers. Anfield to the inside there. Maybe gets him there. We will see. Yes, he does. And Lama on Lama. Mitchell and Cook. Little bit of contact, but nothing too major there. P19, and we have a lead change. Anglesi, we have not seen it, but we have a lead change. Roman Perschke in P14 after all that shenanigans. But yeah, it's week 13. It's not a super try-hard event. We have to say it every single time. Bruno Gaiotto in the pits. Incidentally, we have seen so much. I'm not shocked. I'm not shocked in the slightest. And we have a little bit over 8 minutes. Boof! Maybe it's not just Julian's corner. So many cars hitting that wall. John Duncan and Cedric Gibbret. Behind them is Marcin Rejewski and Matthew Hansel. That's a quick pack. That is a quick pack of drivers there. Rejewski and Hansel side by side in turn 9. Duncan a bit in the gravel, suboptimal, but should not cost him a position. Hansel gets it done nicely. You love to see it. After 10 laps here at the Oran Park Raceway. So yeah, maybe I should say it if you're still in this video, and if this is the first time you see the Clio community, do not take this as the regular racing. It is a chaotic crash fest today, but this is week 13, we all expect this. But take a look at our playlists. We have so many races of the Clio SOF every Wednesday evening. 4 splits, 5 splits. Join the action. It's less chaotic. Except during split 4 sometimes. Neil Todd defending against Dylan Da Costa. Oh no, makes a mistake. Oh, he gets too far to the inside, spins himself, and now is a roadblock there for the other cars. What a shame. Neil Todd has driven such a good race, staying in the top 5 for the time, but now 6 minutes before the end of the race. What a shame. John Duncan in P8. I think, wasn't he in P8 after race 1 as well? He was somewhere around there. Ewan Tupley defending against Roman Perschke. Remember, he flashed his lights on Perschke a few laps ago. So there is some history between them in this race. This is for P11. Perschke is looking, he's trying, and Todd is in danger. And Andy Oakley eats it. And Cedric Goyot eats it as well. Schichterich and Teixeira in the pits as well. I have not noticed that. Just noticed it now. Andy Oakley and John Cook with Sebastian Müller, Isaac Mitchell and Daniel Guzman. Nice pack there. Bruno Gaiotto. He was in the pits, so he's in P22 and fighting to gain a little bit. Bit over 4 minutes on the clock, and Glazy is slowly extending his lead. David Ward looking for P2. And Dylan Acosta and Kevin Anfield 4 and 5. Then Cedric Gibbert and Matthew Hansel with John Duncan. So the top 8 are really strong. Well, then there is the broadcasting bum still in P2. Somehow. But after all the incidents we have seen in this race involving even our elite, we know why. But I take that P2 for the moment. But sometimes you have to bring it home, and I see a scenario where that P2 could easily turn into a P5 with that caliber of talent behind. But let's not focus too much on it. Let's focus on the battles we have on camera. Like Bruno Gaiotto trying to get into P21. A little bit of contact there, I believe. Oh! But that little contact sent him flying. Which brings me back to the... If the car is unbalanced for turn 2, forget it. Prime example. David Ward, he is looking. Stays behind. I defend for my life here. Daniel Guzman, that is not the racing line. But he found it. Welcome back on the racetrack, Daniel. I fight for that P2, damn it. But Dylan Da Costa. P4 is nothing he wants to have. Step 1, David Ward. Oh, a Mitchell into the wall. Did he look on his phone? I don't know. Felipe Cabargas. And Dylan Da Costa is past David Ward, who drops also behind Kevin Anfield. Cocoon and Mitchell contact there. And yeah, here we have it. David Ward now in P5. After the overtake done by Dylan Da Costa in turn 4. Turn 4 unusual to overtake, so maybe there was a bit of contact, which caused David Ward to lose the additional position to Kevin Anfield. Our race leader, Sasha Anglesi, is starting the final lap of the race. Mark Kelly still in the top 10. He's in P9, so he was able to somewhat keep a good position. But he's under pressure from Marcin Rejewski. Cedric Gibbert, Matthew Hansel, and Dylan Da Costa gets past for P2, or does he? We see it at the front there. I'm not letting him through that easily, but now he's on the inside. Same spot as David Ward the lap before, but there was no contact. Julian. And that ain't Michael Lauermann. This is Mitch Starocic. Probably butchered it. So Dylan Da Costa in P2, and now Kevin Anfield. He wants to be on the podium on his home track. He's looking. I am braking late. Oh no, I stay there. And Glazy wins. Da Costa in P2 and P3 to make it about myself. Yeah! But Kevin Anfield almost, and David Ward also really close together there. But I said to myself, no, I will brake late and sacrifice that final corner. Who cares? Who cares? I want P3. John Cook in P14, Andy Oakley P15. Sadly, no more reverse grid. There is no race 3. Otherwise, Oakley would have been on pole position for that, but we don't have a race 3. 2 chaotic races are enough, I believe. Bruno Gaiotto hit the wall one more time there. And now we wait for everyone to finish as the chaos begins, the post-race chaos. Everyone is taking the jump. This is why on the minimap you see the cars suddenly jumping on the course. Here we have Roman Perschke and the results. And Glazy wins, and Dylan Da Costa in P2. And then some bum in P3. I wonder who that is. Then the second page from Perschke. All the way down to P20. James Moore is the top of page 3. Down to Cedric Goyot. And then one more page. Jack Davies and Michael Luke Jackson sadly were not able to drive. By Jack, I know it was technical issues. And here we have them. Woohoo! Welcome to week 13, ladies and gentlemen. The post-race incidents. The llamas are celebrating. Neil Todd is on his roof. Ah, lovely, 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 lovely. But yes, this was week 13, but now we jump over to ClioSOF.com for a reason. And the reason is our week 13 championship. Even though it is a fun event, we also have our week 13 championship, as we do those events after every single season. If we take a look last season, Matthias Pentele, he participated in all 4 events. He finished as the champion of week 13. But remember, it is a fun event, and fun should be the more important thing. So if we take a look, before we talk about, yes, there is a little bug on the website. 9 total podiums cannot work with only 2 races. We ignore that. Everything else works as intended, so it is what it is. Dylan Da Costa is leading this week 13 championship with 2 races, 2 podiums, a win, 185 points. A P1 and a P2 does that for you. Then Sasha Anglesi, Kevin Anfield, Matthew Hansel, myself in P5, thanks to race 2. Thank you, race 2. And the pole position I got due to a black flag. Everything else would have been different. John Duncan with consistency in P6. Then Roman Perschke, David Ward, Mark Kelly, good event for him, and Rui Teixeira in the top 10 across those 2 races. You can find this on ClioSOF.com, of course, and then in the top right corner, week 13, you can also take a look at the results of the thing. Here we can see everything, the qualifying, the heat race, and the feature race. Oh, one thing I should mention, the incident counter. You can't ignore it because have you seen the post-race chaos everyone did by jumping and flying and fun crashing? So ignore the incidents there. This is not a real number. But other than that, and as I mentioned all the time, click through the website, find what you want to see. There is so much stuff. But yes, Dylan da Costa leads the French duo after week 1 of week 13 championship, so to speak. So we will have 3 more of these events in 2026. I hope you enjoyed it. And as I mentioned during the broadcast, I will not end with a highlight package because it would be 20 minutes long and I still would miss everything. So we cut it here. I hope you have a good time. Remember, already next week we will start with season 2 of 2026. I am hyped. I'm looking forward. I hope we will have a strong new season and maybe you are also part of it from now on. I would love to see you on track. So I say goodbye until next week for the start of season 2. Have a good one.